Welcome back to another episode of the Casey Campbell Podcast. Casey Campbell with you, of course. And joining us live from Daytona is Ricky Taylor. Of course, just got done on the racetrack. Of course, one of the drivers of the number 10 Konica Minolta Acura in the new GTP class. How's it going?
Good, Casey. Thank you. That sounds good.
So how was it out there?
It's good. I think it's nice to be back at the track and with a little bit more urgency this weekend as we have to qualify the car on Sunday. So it's a little bit of a different vibe. It's been a long development process with the new car, and now that it's time to actually go qualify, it's added some stress and pressure for the weekend. And it's been good. Practice one was nice. The car ran very well. We got through a couple of the drivers, but it's just going to be so busy with all the cars.
Okay, of course, you and Philippe are the main drivers of the 10. Who's with you this weekend at Rolex?
We have Louis Delatraz, who will be with us for all the long distance races this year, and Brendan Hartley, who joined us at Petit Le Mans last year and will be with us for the 24.
All right. Just kind of talk about, with this getting used to all the new changes this year with from the DPIs to the new GTP class. What was it like? Was there really any difference between the two cars when you were out there?
Yeah, it's very different. I mean, the car is bigger, it's more powerful, it's got less downforce, it's got a different tire. It's different in almost every way. But to drive it, the feeling of driving it, is shockingly similar, but it likes different things. And it's a huge car. So first thing you notice is getting through traffic. You have to give everybody a little bit more space, and it gets down the straights very well. So getting through traffic should have a bit of a different vibe.
Yeah, of course. This weekend compared to the last few years I would say a little bit different because we're kind of going back to that traditional qualifying that we've had in the last few years. How big of a difference is that kind of going back to compare to what we had in the last few years?
Yeah, not having the qualifying race is definitely back to a more traditional feeling. Personally, I love a normal traditional qualifying session, and to set the grid with a qualifying session, I think is very exciting, and I'm glad we can do it here this weekend, and then settle in for the race weekend and focus on building a 24-hour race car. But yeah, it's nice to be back to the traditional format and still have something exciting for the fans on the Roar weekend.
Do you know who is qualifying the car?
We don't know yet. I think we'll see how everybody gels with the car this weekend. Normally, we keep it quite open. All four guys have been quick, but we'll see who sort of feels the most comfortable with how the car is handling on Sunday.
I see there's a new logo on your fire suit there. Let's talk about that for a second. Of course, Andretti coming in, being a part of the team. What has that been like to have their support as well?
Yeah, it's been great. I think it's very exciting to be partnered up with the team with Andretti Autosport. Obviously, Wayne Taylor Racing has an amazing history in sports car racing, and always does an amazing job adapting to whatever the series or car or other teams throw at the team. And I think this GTP class is everybody's raised their game, and I think partnering with such a gigantic organization like Andretti Autosport to help with some of their knowledge that we might not have, with more engineering minds, more eyes on the same problem. It can't hurt, and we're looking forward to the future of what the partnership is going to bring.
So with this race, I know Acura has kind of dominated the Rolex 24 in the past few years, and of course since you returned back to Wayne Taylor, you of course picked up a few more, and I know the Meyershank team won it last year. But what overall, just before we get into the chances this year, winning this race, you've won it several. You have had the opportunity to win it several times. What is it like to win this race?
It's so special. It's such a difficult race to win. So much goes into it as well. Kicking off the season, especially this year, with all the development that goes into the car, so many people involved in the project, and then a grueling 24 hours of racing. It's sort of a feeling that you don't get in any other environment, where you're so drained by the end, and then being able to beat all of your competitors is something very, very sweet. And finishing it off, it's always a big mix of relief and joy and excitement. But I think relief is probably one of the biggest emotions that you feel at the end of one of these things.
Is there like a big unknown this year with all the new changes, and of course the Porsches coming in, the BMWs coming into the GTP class along with you guys in Cadillac?
Yeah, absolutely. It's a huge unknown, and I don't know that anybody is 100% confident in the reliability of their cars, or it's just going to be such an unknown, like you said, to go into a 24-hour race for the first time. Nobody's done, full endurance sim without issues. It's been very difficult. The cars are very complicated. It's an incredibly technical process to get through this development of the new car, and to go into a 24 hours super daunting. So we'll see next week how everybody shakes out, but I don't think until Sunday afternoon anybody has any idea.
All right. And finally, what's it going to take to win the Rolex 24?
I think usually we talk about how the 24 hours is a sprint race from start to finish, but this year it's going to be all about reliability. I think whoever can make it to the end with a car that's still capable of performing well, that's going to be the team who wins. And we got to make sure that we're there, that the car can last all the whole race.
All right. Well, Ricky Taylor, thanks for taking some time to talk with us. We'll let you get back to work at the Roar 24 at Daytona, and best of luck next week at the Rolex.
Great, thank you, Casey.